it's a double barrel shotgun. It's called a DP-12. So it's a double barrel shotgun, but each barrel has its own cartridge. So, usually a double barrel hold like 8 shells.
Yeah.
This motherfucker holds 16.
So you got 2 triggers and everything.
No, it's got 1 trigger, but you pump it once and it shoots 2. You can pull the trigger twice.
Oh, I got you.
Pump.
Jesus.
Hell of an intro to the melodrama.
Each barrel shoots independently, but with the same trigger.
Okay.
So I watched this dude on the video unload 16 shots in under a minute.
Jesus.
Man.
Well,
with a gauge, that's pretty impressive.
I'm gonna introduce the podcast. This is yes, y'all. This is the Melodrama Podcast, episode number 45. I go by the name of Speak Easy. I'm joined by Deem on the 28s to 29s. We got Jay Jesus in the building. We got Big Trip, my bodyguard. He was talking about, I feel protected. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what's good. That's what's up. So, fellas, what the fuck is up in the place to be? Aside from folks upgrade, we definitely do have to, because I have to upgrade, and we definitely do have to hit the range. That's something that we definitely need to do. I gotta upgrade first. But yeah, this is episode 45. That's how we got to talking about guns.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping.
You got to upgrade to what?
Huh?
What you got, a Derringer or something? You got?
I have a
He got the air rifle,
semi-automatic. I got a semi-automatic, but I need something that I can just let the whole thing go.
Man, fullies are illegal here, bro.
What?
Fullies are
illegal in Wisconsin
here, bro.
So I can't just.
Nah. I mean, you could. It's just repercussions after that shit.
Oh,
I ain't talking about the kick. I ain't talking about recoil. I'm talking about repercussions, man. Like
what?
Yeah, this shit's illegal.
Oh man, so I'm doing all this window shopping for. Well, I'm gonna just look for a damn cannon. Fuck it.
Might as well.
You just need you just need something that once they get hit that one time, they ain't gonna get back up.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm the weirdest gun dude in the world because I don't have any faith in people. That's why my favorite phrase is "the problem is the people." I just
that's gonna be one of the drops right there.
Yeah, it should be some fucking. There's some guns, some weapons that a motherfucker just shouldn't be able to buy, fam, just because of how fucking stupid people are.
Mm-hmm.
You already stupid. You already got hate.
He said you already stupid.
You already stupid. You already got hate in your heart, and now you got a motherfucking 30-round clip you can empty in 12 seconds.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And really
30. And then some of the motherfuckers got 100-round clips.
Right. I ain't even really a fan of the fun either.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, them motherfuckers serve one purpose for me, man. That's to kill the motherfucker trying to kill me or my family, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that ain't really no toy. So I get cats think it's fun and shit, but bro, I'm utility oriented, fam. That motherfucker serve a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I don't know, dude. It's one of those things, but especially in times like this, you just got to make sure that you're good, and you got to make sure your people are good. And
oh yeah, you made a mistake if you try and run up in the crib.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mistake.
Yeah,
should have went next door, fam. That's probably gonna be the last words you hear.
It's gonna be a situation. It's gonna be a situation.
I mean, I'm just like, I can keep you out the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey.
You know,
you ever see that the one Kevin Hart special when that nigga was like he be walking around the house trying to find places to hide his gun?
Oh my God, that was so good.
Just in case somebody come in the house.
Yes.
I got one in the bread box. Oh, you gonna kill me? Let me make a sandwich before I die.
Oh, stupid.
Yo, that was hilarious, dude.
You know, hey, because of your homie Trip. When I cut the grass, that bitch be on me. That big ass deer that be in the backyard, I be on the ride more strap, fam.
You got to.
Yo.
You know what I mean?
Motherfuckers be thinking deer are cute and shit. That motherfucker kick you, you gonna die.
You see that one video, that old ass video with Santa Claus was fighting that? deer. That deer was whooping his ass. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dog, that's Santa, fam. He one of your homies. That deer was like, man, I'm sick of this shit. You know what I'm saying? He was on his hind legs, man. Like,
hey,
fucking Santa Claus up, man. That
I
shit
got a rude awakening and shit the other day driving to work. Cause we've been out of school like 6 months. I forgot that we got deer on the on the river parkway by the school.
Trip like I thought the bugs got put out.
I'm
beating this shit, and I'm like, it's a deer on the side of it. Oh fuck, let me slow down.
Yep.
Because if it's one, it's FOMO somewhere.
Yep.
And that motherfucker gonna come out and fuck me up.
And they smart, so they in the city now because hunting season finna start. And they know motherfuckers can't hunt down here, so they come hang out.
Dude, one of the last times I trip shot pictures of me, we're unloading, and then like 2 deer just was walking past just casually. Like
down
one
the middle
deer,
of the street.
Yeah, he just looked at me, he was like, "You got a light?" I'm like,
yeah, right. Because they know, dog, they know like you can't shoot in the city. Like they know the hunting rules and shit.
He looked back at the other deer. Yeah, he looked back at the other deer. Like, fam, I told you, come on, they can't do nothing.
They can't do nothing.
He was like, the deer was like, and they black. Come on, let's go.
Dog said they gonna hold the gun sideways and shit. You can't shoot straight like that.
Yo, the deer just straight looked. He looked at us.
Rocker people no hunt.
He looked at this other deer
he was like, hey,
are you gonna fucking come on or what? Like, let's go.
Buick, fam. They ain't hunting in a Buick.
You know what I'm saying? Stupid.
He's like, you see the little, and they got a softbox. They're fucking taking pictures. They're fucking taking pictures.
Taking pictures, fam. They ain't no gangsters.
Oh my
Matter of fact, hey, my nigga pose.
Yo, that's hilarious.
That nigga's like hashtag fear the deer.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Oh man, dude. So like last podcast, we were like at the very, very end. And then like JG was gonna like enlighten us. So like when I wrote down for subject matter, I just put renewed. Because you were talking about a spirit renewed. You defined it as a midlife crisis. I defined it as a spirit renewed. Because it's always love and light, my brother. It's always love and light.
You an optimistic motherfucker, fam. I gotta work on that. That's a skill. Especially in this world, dog. That's a skill.
I don't know if I want to be optimistic though.
But you can win though. As long as you keep your head.
Yeah, but it sets you up for failure quicker too. Like if I come
didn't say that in the song, fam. It don't say that in the song.
Because they want your money.
This the remix?
But you know what they always say? There's no failure in try. Or wait, maybe
they say that?
Say that.
I don't know if I heard that shit. But I mean,
I'm not saying don't try, my nigga. I'm just saying.
I guess you gotta be optimistic to try, because you ain't gonna try to do some shit you know gonna fail. I guess you gotta hope the shit gonna work.
Man, dude.
But
nah, fam, it's funny, man. You gotta.
I think that my pessimism will probably lines up with JG. I'm more pessimistic when it comes to people.
Facts.
As opposed to like trying shit. Like I don't want to expect shit from people. I don't really want to have to really expect or depend on people to come through. Not that I don't think you should come through, but if you don't, I'm not gonna be too let down.
I'm still
good. I'm still good because I didn't put all my eggs on the contingency of you.
Right.
Being able to do what you said that you was gonna do, even though I knew you couldn't do it.
Yeah. That's real. I wasn't never Nino Brown because I work by myself. But I ain't do no bids like that either because I work by myself. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers, you can't snitch, motherfucker, because you wasn't there. But dog, that shit it's a trip, man. So we all men. Mm-hmm. We all fathers. We all significant to somebody. Mm-hmm. You know, so we got them 3 hats we wear. And it's funny, man. I just realized when I was quarantined with that COVID shit, I just realized that somewhere along the line, I took one of them hats off. I took off the man hat, and I only had the father hat and the husband hat. Like, that's basically how I define myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's life. Go to work, provide, protect, teach. Whatever the kids need, they got it. Whatever I need, I'll get that shit later. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just daddy, just husband. That's it.
Yeah.
18 years later. Mm-hmm. Dig what I'm saying? 18 years later.
Yep.
Kids like, hey man, fuck you, Pops, up straight. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
like, okay. Like Red Man shit, what I'm gonna do now, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But wife is like kind of the same. We 18 years, we both been for the kids. Mm-hmm. Wasn't for each other. Mm-hmm. Wasn't for ourselves individually. Now what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dog, I'm sitting here now, man. You know, my oldest boy, NBA playoff song. He gonna watch him with his girl and the homies and they girls. You know what I'm saying? My little dude working his job, proud of him for that shit. Mm-hmm. And baby girl, like, nigga, you just be forcing it. So I'ma chill in my room. So I'm watching the playoffs by myself and shit, and I'm just like,
yeah,
how the fuck did I get here?
Bro, it's,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
but
so
before,
now I gotta take them other 2 hats off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now what? Like, dog, like it's funny, man. I was like you know what it is? I don't remember what the fuck I like.
And the funny thing is, before you got to that moment, JG, every step that you made before you got to that moment, you would make that step all over again.
All over again.
That's the crazy
part.
Thing
to do.
Yes.
But the thing is now is like, okay, nigga, what you like?
Yep.
What shit, nigga?
You know what?
You 50 now, fam. You ain't even cool. So
it ain't even that you take the other 2 hats off, I don't think. Mm-hmm. I just think that the frequency in which, or the manner of which you wear them has to shift. And for us, especially being men, like, we're such creatures of habit and routine.
Yep, and duty.
That now you asking me to change something that has worked.
Yes.
For 18 years. For you, 18 years. For me, 17, because my daughter's 17, so I'm right behind you.
Right.
But it's like, man, you mean, so like I matter again? You know, because like it's been 17, because if you think about before we had kids and we had jobs, like, nigga, you get a check. Nigga, you take out enough for food, enough for bills, and then it's party time.
Yep.
You ain't did that in so long. It's like, what the fuck is party time?
Nigga, I had to Google fly.
You had to Google
fly. I had to Google fly so I could remember what it was. Not you, Google. Shut the fuck up. I couldn't remember what fly was, so I had to Google that shit.
Alexa trying to seduce JG.
Yeah,
listen, Alexa is listening to the whole conversation, and she's interpreted what JG said is like that. That maybe she might have a shot because she's trying to figure out what he like.
Advertising.
So now she's shooting her shot. Like, I mean,
nah, fam,
well,
look,
really.
This motherfucker actually Google. Oh, y'all can't see it. Google a fly.
Oh shit.
Alexa dumb, fam.
Yeah.
Alexa dropped out of high school. Alexa dropped out of
Alexa gonna cuss your ass out. You better watch it.
But the thing is, though, like, you can have, like, in life, bro, there's these different moments where you you have
wait,
to.
Wait. Before you go speak, now check this out. Now this is the part where I'm gonna be brutally honest and maybe a little too much information.
No.
And y'all got to remember this too, to our folk listeners, that when they say shit like, it's immature to allow social media beefs to spill out into the street, that shit don't apply to me. So if you try to rib about this shit, I will fucking come see you. I'll come see you. And my new saying is, you have every right to talk that shit, but when I see you, I'm gonna need you to walk that shit.
This nigga posted this on Facebook for real though.
I'm gonna need you to walk that shit.
Hold up, dude. Dude, that was a true melodrama PSA.
Fam.
Dude, he really posted this disclaimer on Facebook.
Hey man,
a couple days ago.
I don't like that shit, dog. I'm like, bro,
he said, I'm not an entertainer.
Nope.
I'm not a comedian.
None of that. Twitter drag ain't gonna hurt me. You can't take nothing from me. Then I'm gonna see you, and then we gonna see if that's how you really feel. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
But fam, the worst part, dare I say, the almost hurtful part, right? The job say of father. Like, you motherfucker get fired with no severance. The way that shit play out, it's just like, fuck out of security. Get this motherfucker out of here. I'm like, dog, the appreciation.
It's been great having you as a part of our team.
Right,
your work ethic was impeccable.
Oh my God!
I'm just sorry to say that.
Y'all are assholes.
Bro.
We've reached a point where we gotta part ways, and we wish the best for you.
Dog.
We wish the best for you, okay?
Dog. Hey man, remember when you like you had the master plan, man, you forget your girl back and you got your flowers and your music and all that, the candy and shit, you show up at a crib, you got your best game, suited, you smell, you know what I'm saying? You walk into the house and she come out and get in that other nigga car. And you standing there with all that shit, like, and you get that tear like the Indian with the garbage in the street. You know what I'm saying? The shit with the kids was like 10,000 times worse than that. You feel me? Yeah. Because it was more like, I mean, it was none of that, fam. It was, I've been fired. I've been escorted out by security. That's exactly how that shit was. I come in with the Dorito, the taco dip and shit, like if we watch the game, I'm going over here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fam, what the fuck you mean? Like it's.
But I mean,
nigga, did you just break up with your daddy and shit?
Is there any excitement to rebuild that, self hat?
You know what it is? You know what it is, Dima? It's sadly, it's a lack of information. Because the hat been like, I gotta find the motherfucker. I don't even know. I don't remember where I put it. Big what I'm saying, just to stay with the analogy, I don't remember where I put it. The motherfucker might not fit no more. Because I was, man, no bullshit, probably 75 pounds lighter, in shape, still hooping. You know what I'm saying?
But you're already on the right path, because you're right now you're channeling back to, okay, when's the last time I was thinking about me?
Right.
And now that right there is going to lead you to what you ultimately end up doing next.
After I get through the guilt, because that's the fucked up part about it.
Because you still feel like I shouldn't be doing this for myself.
Yep. Still, dog. Hey man, if I showed y'all my work boots, you'd be like, nigga, you gotta have work boots, my nigga. Yeah. Gotta buy 6 pair of the hot joints, man, for the shorties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 6 pair.
Yeah.
How much money that is, man? A little bit, about $800-900, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They $2.25 each. You know what I'm saying? So that's just hoping you got your baby girl still wear kid sizes. You might get lucky. Right. It might be low. She actually, she still care but she hoop now. And yeah, even the kid size hoop shoes is up there. So and I mean, you know, it's and then you got your so it's like that. But
and then wait, because then Junior is a senior. Yeah, because we paying for a bunch of the same shit this year. Yep. I'm finna come out of money for senior pictures, Letterman jacket, all kind of shit.
I'm so glad that AAU shit over. But see, now here go the thing though, fam. Man, that motherfucker told me that he is where he is because of his hard work. And I was waiting for him to continue. But that nigga was finished.
So here's the thing.
Fam, I ain't prideful, speak. I ain't prideful. But nigga.
Yeah. But you know what? I had to realize that though.
Had to knuckle up, fam.
Wait, so I've been in this spot before.
Okay.
And
that's
like
what I wanted to holler at y'all.
So like you're older than me, but I've had some significant life-changing events.
Yeah. And your kids are older. You
my oldest
started before us. You got started before us.
My oldest just turned 20. So like and I'm 32.
Dog said that.
But so basically
All right, man.
In the 6th grade, talking about.
Listen, I'm working through my pain. But with that being said, though, because
too in touch with his feminine side.
My oldest is 20. So like I got this, and actually just other life changing events where you realize you're thinking like a parent, but then like your kids will show you I'm good. But before there's the appreciation, at first I would take that shit to heart. This shit like literally does hurt. Right. But then you got to step back like, you know what? You provided such a good and comfortable life for your children that they haven't experienced any adversity, and you have always taught them that you got here because of your hard work. You never said, and because of me. Right. So really, when you hear him say that, you actually hear him saying what you've already instilled in him.
Facts.
So it's like, and then but when you realize your kids don't fucking need you, bro, it's kind of like, so like when you say like, when you guys joke and say like, speak, you're too secure. Cause I'm like, fam, I'm learning my role as a dad is changing as my kids get older. I'm more of, I used to be like, a head coach and my children are my star players.
Right.
And now it's kind of like, I'm just an advisor and you don't even need to take my advice. So whatever we do now, it's like this. Before you're 18, you don't have a fucking choice.
Right.
When you hit 18, our relationship is totally voluntary.
Yep, that's facts.
It is totally voluntary. Yep. You don't have to fuck with me
at all.
You don't want to.
Yep.
So like, but now when you see your children connecting with you, and you know that they're connecting with you because they want to, that shit means a lot, bro. Like when I'm talking to and I'm still annoying dad. I'm still annoying. Like I was talking to my youngest daughter. We're FaceTiming and I was like, so what's up with your license? She's like, Dad, do you know you ask me that like every single time we talk? I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what about now? Do you have them?
Right, exactly.
Like, but
you getting the motherfucker while we
so now I'm like, okay, I know that y'all gonna make y'all choices, but y'all know I'm still me, right?
Right.
So we gonna have to navigate through this change together, cause I know it's not like it used to be. Right. So let's figure this shit out and figure out what the fuck works for us all. Like, bro, Trip will tell you, when my kids were younger, it was Radio Disney all day, every day. I never swore around my children, any of these things. Now, one of my kids can FaceTime me. I'm like, what the fuck is up? And they're like, hey, Dad. Hi.
Yeah.
Or like Dad, you know you're on speaker, right?
Man.
You know, like just different shit like that. Shit. Because it's like, they see that like, but now they're seeing that they're happy to like, okay, dad knows that we're good and dad is actually living his life. So
Right.
that's kind of cool to them too, to hear like, okay, dad's doing different shit now. Like,
Yeah, that
you know what I'm
sounds
saying? Like,
good. No, that's sweet, but that shit still hurt.
oh
Yeah.
hell
Like,
yeah,
okay,
it don't
wait,
take away none of the hurt.
so
No,
wait,
it don't.
so you know, me and Junior go to the gym Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing that since the gym opened back up. So it's been like what 3-4 months straight now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was it, this week Wednesday? So Tuesday he come in the living room. He was like, "So his voice deep as shit. So tomorrow, Mama and Chesney going to the mall, and I'm gonna go with them. We going at 4:00." It's like, so you ain't going to the gym? He's like, no. Like, nigga, I felt like I got stood up for a date. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, but you know the funny thing, when we did Juneteenth, that was like last year, right? When we did
last summer.
Juneteenth, Junior was with us. I knew at that moment, because his voice was deeper than mine and he's taller than me. I knew at that moment, I said to myself silently, I was like, Trip has no idea his days are numbered. Because his dad is very independent. So I'm like, I know Junior's very independent. I said it. I said, I'm like, and he's mature like his dad. I was like, Trip's days are numbered. I knew it. When we hung out that day, I was like, yeah, he's too independent. He's not finna fall for no peer pressure. He ready. He ready.
And I mean, and I love that. Like, I want them to be independent. That's the main thing. Like, I teach them and shit, but as them strings start to get cut, like I'm right there with JG. As them strings start to get cut, it's like, so like right now, like, cause like we used to do, like the movies are closed now, but we used to go and we would like catch, we used to catch like all the Marvel movies and shit. Like every Sunday morning we go catch a matinee and shit. Get like 2 big ass things of popcorn and just, spend, on movies like early in the morning on Sunday. Where everybody else at church and shit, we be at the movies, but the movies closed, so we not doing that shit. But like, I'm like grasping to shit like you said, hey, you was over, but the thing is like that's the shit that we still hold on to. Like, I still hold on to looking forward to going to like wrestling tournaments every fucking Saturday and Sunday and shit. Like that's the shit. Like that's like the joys of fatherhood, tennis matches and shit like that, and the boring ass band concerts where you really only just want to see your kid, but you got to sit through 600 other kids.
Hold up, but you have to clap for everybody
else kids
with the same enthusiasm.
Man. The worst of that trip is fucking track.
Man,
you will be there 9 hours. They never tell you when your kid race is,
and the race is like 5 seconds long.
Yeah, 5 seconds, but you there. I'm literally 9 hours sometimes, man. And it depends on the event. But fam, that's.
But dude, the thing is, I get what you're saying though, and I think for me, when I think about, and I put this in my music a lot, I know that I became the dad that I am because I didn't have that. I was raised by my grandparents. So grandparents from the South is you're seen, not heard as a kid.
Right.
Like me and my pop, we didn't get super close until like.
So you was a man.
Yeah, like when I turned 18 is when he and I actually started to have dialogue.
Yeah.
Before that, it was go do this, yes sir.
Yep.
But because of that, not having that biological dad there, it was like, so I turned that into, okay, well, I know what I don't want from a dad. So this is the kind of dad I'm going to be to my kids. But it's like, it's tough. But at the same time, it's like, I'm now as much, because think about it, I got 2 kids that are not in the state that I'm in. So there are days when I don't connect with my kids and it's like, I'm like, damn, it's a bummer. But then I'll connect with them and I'll be like, it's just like yesterday. And even though we're not even in the same space anymore, we're still having these conversations. We're still talking about life things. We're still talking about, How are you taking care of yourself? So it's like I'm now moving into this this because I've been where you guys are. I'm moving into this celebratory phase.
Right.
Where I'm like,
I ain't celebrating shit.
So here's the thing too, because I also have
I'm still in a like Cran Jordan meme phase.
I also have a button.
Dog, when I was watching them damn playoff games by myself and shit, looking around and shit, like, dog, you remember the Incredible Hulk, that the music at the end and shit, that piano?
Dude, that's when
he go back, when he
dude, there's no music.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no music more sad than that. Yes, there's no music more. There's the only
thing literally walking down the street with everything he got on the stick on his shoulder, and he like hitchhiking and shit.
Hey, but here's the thing. So, random question. So, when Hulk became the Hulk, the clothes were tethered.
Right.
When he was done, who put the clothes back together?
He was, that's why his gear was so whack, man. I think he was like finding shit.
So then he'll just go pick up some other random.
Yeah,
they didn't show the scene that actually Hulk was the ultimate thrifter.
Facts.
Because after he would save the world, he would thrift at the local Goodwill and find another ensemble for the next
outfit.
See, the more you know.
Oh, that's how they did it. That's why when Cass is all bitching about the superhero movies now, I'll be like, fam, y'all didn't have to go through the shit I went through, dog. I love every one of these movies.
But we used to geek off of the special effects, though. The things that we thought were special, I remember one time going to a Superman movie, and before the movie started, somebody pretended to like that Superman was backstage fighting, and they had like the little punch sound, and then the screen came on. I was like, oh my God, Superman was here, and then he left this theater to go save the world.
Yeah,
I was going.
Here's my thing. So, y'all seen the lady, that Wonder Woman movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, but does that make me?
And then they had
Wonder Woman was dope.
The Wonder Woman
I heard that was.
And then,
I heard that was
then
good.
they had the Justice League, and she had her lasso of truth. Like, she was a little bit stronger than she was when we was kids, but she was stronger than a bitch. Like, she was strong enough to fight Superman in the movie.
Right.
But what happened to her invisible jet?
Dude,
they didn't put it in there.
So I never watched the movie, so it's not in there?
No.
I'm not watching it now. How can you not have that?
Because some of the fanboys said, bitch, you can fly. Why you need a jet?
How could they not have? That was the coolest thing.
I know, right? And it was actually the dumbest thing, but we still thought it was cool.
Right, because we just saw...
We
saw her on the screen like this.
Yeah, she's sitting down, flying a plane.
And you know what I used to do after the show?
You saw was like
after the show, I would sit down and be like...
Right, and ain't no plane. But she could fly the right way, too, though. So it was just, they left it out. But yeah, they tried to mess up that movie. But it was still better than all the superhero movies from the 70s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Y'all should.
I'm interested in some of these new DC movies because I know one of Marvel's writers went over there.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they're like because I guess I don't know who the person is, but like it's one of the Marvel writers who did some of the better Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It'll be cool.
Joss Whedon.
So the funny thing is, we went from this is total midlife crisis shit. We went from, oh my God, my kids don't love me, they don't appreciate me, to like, look at the cartoons.
Hey,
that's facts, man.
Yo, that is crazy. That is crazy, man. So
that's how we do, bro.
But I mean, it's kind of like you go from being a superhero, because I mean, as Superman knew exactly who he was.
Yeah,
but
it was Joss Whedon that did that. But go ahead.
As Clark Kent had to find himself and find his identity and who he was going to be when he wasn't Superman.
Yeah, and that's where I came up with that. Go ahead.
Batman had to find out who he was and who he was going to be when he wasn't Batman. You know, all the motherfuckers like, you know, T'Challa was Black Panther before he was king, but you know, shit. Then he had to find out who he was as T'Challa when he had to be king. Like you at that point where like all this shit changing, and as JG said, I took my hat off somewhere and I put it down. I don't remember where I put it down at, so I can't really go back and find it. So I got to get to know who this motherfucker is that I'm looking at in the mirror right now, because we really not that familiar.
Nope.
Because you know we ain't hung out in a while.
So at this point, how does that make you feel though? Like, because you now know this is where I'm at. This is a stage where I'm at. So now, where do you?
I mean, it's scary because it's just like getting to know a new motherfucker. Because you getting to know a new motherfucker. Really? It just happened to be the motherfucker is you. Yeah. The upside to it is that the motherfucker that you about to get to know is probably going to be the motherfucker that you is for the rest of your life.
Bro, so now I'm starting to feel like this is where I'm getting to, and I also notice I'm still very reflective in thought. However, I also know I'm starting to have a lot less tolerance for shit. And I first, when I was a kid, I would look at folks and be like, dang, why are they so like, no, it seems like, but now I'm in a place where I'm like, and like my wife can complete my sentences, because I'd be like, yo, I need to have peace in my life. I need to have peace in my life. And like, so like sometimes it'd be funny, right? Because like we even do this thing where like, I'm sure, yes, we will definitely disagree. We're gonna disagree, but like arguments, let's not do those. So now it's so funny, right? So now we joke, and like when we see ourselves getting there, like we'll joke like, okay, I don't want to disrupt your peace, but that shit really works. It's like, especially when you
I think I've ever said that phrase in my life,
bro. When you think about all the bullshit that's happening outside in the world, right?
Like y'all really say it like, I don't want to disrupt your peace.
Yeah, well, that's more like, that's me.
I just say shit like, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's kind of that's
okay. I'm that's better.
I'm the love and light one.
I might say, man,
she's like, well, all right, fine, whatever. Like,
I'm probably gonna say walk away, but same thing. Okay,
but
tomato.
You know what? You're right.
Yep.
But bro, it's like, but that's the cool thing when you said too, Trip, about that's who you're going to be for the rest of your life. So I think what's happening with me is I'm going to this phase, and then you also, if we want to keep it all the way 1,000, you also start thinking about like your own mortality. And I'm always one of these people that are like, oh, you got to leave a legacy. Oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got to do that. And then all the while, but sometimes you push so hard, you don't enjoy shit. Yep. And that's one of the things that I tell you guys, because I challenge everybody that I love and trust to help hold me accountable. I have to live in the moment. What am I thinking about my mortality for when I got today? I have right now. And if all we doing is, and for me, for like the way my anxiety works, it's like I'm either, and the research will tell you too, anxiety is caused because you're either fixated on the past or you're fixated on the future.
Right.
If you're in the moment, you're not anxious because you're truly here.
That's fine.
So like, it's so crazy, bro. So I think just being comfortable with being who you are, like that's the space I'm in now. I'm like, I'm not the coolest. Yeah. I'm not gonna have, even like in the social media world, the Melodrama podcast, if we were smoozers and ass kissers, whatever, we could have this motherfucker jumping, right? But because we are who we are, we live by a certain set of like, I don't know.
Like I never really gave a fuck about like.
But that's what I'm saying.
Other
like
people's opinions. But as the older I get, like I really don't.
That shit got worse.
Right,
bro. I didn't think I was gonna be that guy, but I'm turning into that guy, dude.
Because somebody said something about, I did the picture with the gold teeth. Every once in a while, I throw the gold teeth, and somebody was like, "So is that like still a thing? Like, do people still wear gold teeth?" And I look and it's like, I don't give a fuck. I got some on.
You think that's why I did it? Because it's what motherfuckers do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's what the
And
fuck.
they asked me, they was like, so why? I was like, I said, because you know what? I'm 44. I don't want to get to the end of life and have a list of anything that I wish that I did do that I didn't do.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
facts.
Bro,
So I don't want to be 70. I don't want to be 70 or 85 and my only regret be I did everything except wear some fucking gold teeth. Now I ain't got no fucking teeth.
And they don't make it for 70-year-old niggas, right? Yeah, exactly. Go have a fucking partial with gold.
Right. I want to be the old motherfucker that when you sitting around a bunch of young motherfuckers and they be like, hey, what would happen if we, and I'd be like, you know what? I did that shit. That shit.
Yo,
I want to be that motherfucker.
Dude, listen. Listen. I even want to be like cynical, like in my afterlife. Like niggas gonna come to my wake, and like all of a sudden somebody gonna go boo.
Hey, but you know what? If you and granted, I don't know, and I'm not saying I don't or do believe. Like I don't know how shit happened when you die because I never died. I know some people say that they know, but if you really, as a spirit, can move around when you dead, I really want to be at my funeral, just like knocking shit down, like randomly.
I'm kind of like that too.
Dude said, like, he said, that's not even the color I said.
Like if they have a preacher that I don't like and he's preaching, I want to be able to like move the mic every once in a while, like move it away from his mouth while he preaching. Like, dude, if he say some bullshit, if he be like, and we gonna see you, and before he say heaven, I just move the mic.
Hey, I'm gonna have a PowerPoint. I'm gonna have a PowerPoint presentation, and like one of the things that I hate, my pet peeves about PowerPoint presentations, somebody loves to talk about something in the beginning and say, "We'll get to that later." Well, just don't say shit. Just get to it later. And then what's my other pet peeve? Does that make sense? No. It does.
That's why we look confused.
If it doesn't make sense, you didn't explain it well. Right. So you tell me if it makes sense. Like, yeah, it's like now we're gonna
asking that question mean it didn't make sense to you, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna just start whole conversations like, so the other day, does that make sense? Yo, that's a new.
That's how you tell motherfuckers ain't listening.
Hey, just start walking up to people. Be like, I want to ask you something. We'll get to that later. And then walk away.
Dude, that's so dope.
Don't do that to your wife, though. Don't do that to your wife, though. You might
don't do that shit at work. Somebody go HR on your ass. He's creepy.
He said we were going to get to that later.
Hey, Speak gonna do that to his wife. He gonna come home. She gonna cook an all-meat dinner. Like, motherfucker. You gonna be like, where are the veggies? She gonna be like, we get to that later.
Yep.
That is hilarious. Man, he said, we'll get to that later. Does that make sense? Oh man, dude. So
but but back on like that shit, like, so I think what I've been doing is like, even though it's with Junior, I think my dedication to like being in the gym, I think I've stepped that up because now it's more like it's more of a enjoyment, I want to say, even though I don't know if you can really enjoy it, but it's more of it's more of a personal thing as opposed to like a duty thing. Because I mean, I was always going to the gym, but I was going because I was supposed to go.
That's the difference, though, Trip.
Right. As to like now, like I go because now it's like before people was like, so what's your goal? Like, I don't really have a goal. I'm just supposed to be here because I want to live and I'm a diabetic, so I'm supposed to be here. But now, like, I actually got like a weight loss goal, and I'm actually working towards the goal. And like, I'm actually in there 5 days out the week. Junior only goes 3 days.
Wow.
You know, so shit like that. I think that's where like the whole thing where like initially photography was just something just to help sell the clothes, and now it's like actually becoming like more of a hobby and like some residual income every once in a while. Like I take a paid gig, but you kind of start to fill that time with other stuff. But I'm not totally at the spot where you are, Speak. So I still have to leave some dad slots open.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, like baby girl, I wanted to go to her friend house. So, I took her there, and I knew she was gonna have to be picked up. So I didn't know what time. So like I didn't schedule like no major shit.
Yeah.
For yesterday, because shit, it could have been 2 hours, could have been 8 hours.
Right.
Because she a girl, and they ain't hung out since the pandemic shit happened.
Right.
So giving her that flexibility to hang out and
do what you need to do. Yeah, man.
Do what you do.
Man.
Shit like that. But it's an
This
adjustment. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but
right.
And the thing too, you're gonna waver, bro. So like, I by no means do I think I have this shit figured out. I just know that I know what the good days feel like, but I also know what the bad days feel like. I guess that's my only thing. Like, don't think I'm sitting here like I got this shit mastered, because then there's when you got these trusted people that you love, so you can be like, damn, but I'm missing my kids. Like I'm sitting here like, okay, now with the cases here in Wisconsin are higher than they are in Georgia. I'm like, shit, I may as well, because what was holding me from going to see my kids, because I'm like, shit, they never shut motherfucking Georgia down.
Right.
So like now, but so don't get it twisted. I definitely feel you, bro. Like I know what the good days feel like, but yeah, I definitely know those days where it's like, this is bullshit.
What's the hardest thing for an adult to do, fam?
The hardest thing?
Hardest thing for an adult to do is change. Right?
Yeah, man.
It's easy to change when you ain't got no damn choice. Like my man would, said when he had the health reasons and they was like, get your ass in the gym for you. That's motivation like a mother. Ain't no better motivation.
Right.
Right? But what if he didn't have them health reasons to take that first step to get to the gym?
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? It's like you got to choose to change. That's probably where my struggle is. Ain't nothing wrong, really. It's just, okay, this ain't working out. I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
And that first step, man, that shit a little rough. But, I'm going to do it. I always do what I have to do.
Yeah.
Because I think the problem is, like, you got to figure out what direction to take that first step in.
Yep. That's it.
And that's the tough part, because, for example, like with me, if you were really good at something, like, because I still do music, right? But then I picked up guitar, so it's frustrating to go from like, okay, I know how to make a really cool hip hop song. I know how to do this. I have my 10,000 hours, but when it comes to this guitar shit, why am I not picking it up right away? Why is this shit not clicking? And then like I had to really go through the motions, dude, like you at the fucking beginning. Just enjoy the fucking process.
That's like when I went from high school football to college football, and it's like, I know football, like I'm good, but these motherfuckers, this is a whole like the game speeds up, like
because everybody is good.
Right. Yeah, now you're playing with all elite players, not just first you and two other people.
And everybody was here. Yeah. And I was like, hey, bitch.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially you, Trip. You were ahead of like your peers in the city for years because you played so young.
But that's because we came from the city where like it wasn't a lot of like little league teams. But if you was in one and you was able to get in one, and afford to get in one. When you got to high school, like you was literally here and everybody was here.
Yeah.
But when you get to college, actually it kind of goes coming from the city, unless you just like a fucking track star or something, you go from being here to being here because you started playing at 12, but this motherfucker from the suburbs or from down south or Texas or wherever the fuck he came from, that motherfucker started at 5.
Yep. Man, when I was
like my guy, and I'm not gonna say his name, but my guy, he came from he lived in Green Bay. He actually lived in Ashwaubenon. Like some of his neighbors were like Packer coaches and players and shit like that. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker had a full gym in his basement. Wow. Like, we just rode up there one day because he wanted to pick up some socks and a sports coat to wear later on that night. We drove from Oshkosh to Green Bay to pick up socks and a sports coat. We spent more in gas than we would have
to go buy a new sports coat and socks.
So, but we walk in there and it's like
wasting time and shit. Like,
but this is the same motherfucker. Like, his dad was big in real estate. His mom, she ran a florist, not because she was a florist, but she ran a florist because she needed something to do because she really didn't have to work.
I just needed, yeah.
We walked into their house, G. I felt like I was in a furniture store.
Yeah. Damn.
And he was like, have a seat. I was like, God, sit on this.
We can't sit on the good furniture at all.
He was like,
actually, it still got plastic on it, man.
Like, he was like, we lay on it. He was like, we were playing football in the living room the other weekend, me and my brother. Mom got mad, but hey, it's like, the fuck? So then we go in the basement, and when I say he got a full gym,
it's a full gym.
A full weight room. They had like lockers and shit. I'm like, where the fuck did you bring me?
he said, where did you bring me?
and they like, he chuckled a little bit because it was a bunch of us. He chuckled a little bit because I was from the mill. I was from the hood. Like,
yeah.
He was like, man, and they called me Big Cat.
Yeah.
And they was like, Big Cat, that's how we live up here. Like, he was like, my neighbor is the defensive coordinator for the Packers.
Word.
The neighbor over here is, I think it was it might have been, it was a coach. I can't remember which coach it was. Mm-hmm. He said, for graduation, I got that. He said, I got a speedboat, and my brother for graduation got some jet skis. What the fuck?
Wow.
I
got Jets Pizza for graduation, my nigga.
Yeah, and a bottle of
my son worked, bro.
And a bottle of cheap ass wine.
It's some OE.
But like, so like, yeah, it's like it's it's some cultural shit just like really switch, but that's how it is, man. You go from like.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, like, they moved, so your freshman year, you got to live on campus. Mm-hmm. So, like, our freshman year, we lived on campus. We was all in the same dorm. I think the sophomore year, we all decided to stay on the same floor so we wouldn't have no new neighbors. So we did all that together again. Our junior year, we was like, you know what, fuck it. We can't be, because it was a lot of freshmen that moved in. As a junior, like, you really don't want to deal with freshmen no more. So he was like, yeah, fuck it, we out. It was cool being with y'all for 2 years, but I see y'all on campus. Mm-hmm. Some of us rented apartments. Some of us went to the dorms where more upperclassmen stayed. You know what this motherfucker did? What? His dad said, you know what? I'm not finna rent a house for you and your brother, because his brother was still there too. He's like, I'm not finna rent a house for you and your brother to stay. I'll just buy a house that's close to campus, and we can rent the additional rooms to your friends.
Holy shit.
This is a business.
Wow.
Right.
And rent pay for half or more of the
here's a crazy thing, right? So, like, it seems like we veered off from the topic, but we haven't, and this is why. Because you get to a certain level in life, you get to a certain point in life when it's not a hobby that's going to fulfill you. It's not whatever. It's truly like, how are you enjoying the moment? And then because everybody can't get to the point of being so rich that you have to figure out what's most valuable in life. And like it's different when a millionaire or a billionaire says the most valuable thing in life is time, because you don't have to worry about nothing else. But
lying.
But at the end of the day, though, when you get to a certain point, and of course when you get of course, beyond an impoverished condition, because you got when you get beyond just having to live to survive, when you think about it, what is more valuable than time? I mean, shit. Now that I'm
money.
the age,
Shit.
you think so?
Hell yeah.
But if you
What's
don't
money? But what can money buy you when? But what can money buy you when you're out of time?
right.
So what?
What can money buy you when you're out of time?
What can time give you when you ain't got no fucking money?
You know what, bud? You know what money buys me
Time
when
to
Are
make
they
something
saying?
happen?
Are they
you know
think
what
the
money
time is
buys
gonna
me when I'm
make
out
you
of time.
money?
Speak. Money buys me when I'm out of time the comfort and ease of knowing that when I'm walking out this motherfucker, that the motherfuckers that I lived my life taking care of are gonna be all right because I left them the means of being all right.
Yeah.
Like I can't leave you a couple hours when I die. Like, hey, my nigga, I was saving these hours right here. It's about 20,000 hours in this jar. Add them to your life. I'm on my way out.
Shit, I know a bunch
You
of
said
motherfuckers.
I had this platinum stopwatch for you as well.
We all know it's a bunch of motherfuckers walking around here with no money and plenty time. They call prisoners, my nigga.
Oh my
I'm
Jesus.
like, dog. I'm cool, fam. I take my chances with the loot, but broke motherfuckers never say the most valuable thing is time. It's usually rich cats that say that. I understand why. I get the saying,
but I think the thing is, like, what I'm realizing too, especially like when you realize your kids have had certain luxuries that you didn't have, right? And we talked about this before. They've had the capacity to think and imagine and work and achieve towards goals that we didn't know were attainable.
I think the wrong word. I think you're using the wrong word.
Okay, say more.
You said that our kids, that we realized that our kids had luxuries that we didn't have. I don't realize shit. That shit that's intentional.
Yeah, but no, for sure. This was all purposeful.
On purpose, made sure they had luxuries that we didn't have.
Yeah.
On purpose, I didn't want my son growing up on 24th and Locust.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose, I didn't want, my daughter having to walk, down hour to catch the bird line.
I heard that.
And shit like that. Like, all this shit is on purpose.
No, I feel you. Agreed.
On purpose, I didn't want them, with, 3 pair of pants and having to do laundry like in the middle of the week so you can finish the school week out with a clean set of clothes, like shit like the shit we had to do, like washing, man. Washing your shirt out on your hand in the bathtub because you wasn't finna make it to the laundromat this week. Shit like that. Like all that shit is on purpose.
Yeah.
That's not some I sat back.
Yeah, that's not happenstance. Like, that's definitely we work towards that.
Oh, that was the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point being though is we have but purposefully we've put our children in a position in a place to work towards things.
Them sacrifices that JG was talking about in the beginning, where it was like, kids need shoes, I need shoes, my shoes can wait. And you look up and your shoes been waiting for like 3 years, and
waiting a minute. Yeah,
the Air Max you wearing, they ain't even got no grip on the bottom. The air bubble busted.
Bubbles is flat.
You done put like 3 pair of new shoestrings in the motherfuckers.
Dude,
wipe them down with the towels. Talking about they old, but they clean though.
They clean, man.
Dude, do you know how
409, fam?
I think we talked about this same thing. When you get to that point where you can actually do something for yourself, like, do you know how long it took me to buy my camera? Because because I'm so, like you said, Trip, we worked purposefully to get to a certain place in life, right? To make sure our kid's good. And then you get to a point of like, okay, my kid's good and I can do a little something for me too. Dude, it took me forever to do. One day I was talking to my wife and she was like, okay, so can you just help me understand why you ain't gonna buy it? When all of the kids are good, I'm good, and you're good. So what? And I was just like, yeah.
Hey, but remember, it was the same way with me. Like,
But that's what I'm saying.
I
We
was
had the same
texting you.
experience.
I was
Yes.
texting you because I was like, hey, like, I'm looking at this iPad Pro. Like, I got the
Yes.
money.
Yes, bro.
But my laptop still worked. But it looked nice. Like, I want to get it. Like, I can buy it. I got the money, and it ain't gonna be. It don't even. I'm gonna have some money left over. But you know what? What if the kids need something? After I buy, like, shit. What if? And you was like, dude, buy the shit, fam.
Yeah.
Just buy the fucking iPad.
But that's the thing, though. But you got to get that from the people that you love and trust, because otherwise, you probably wouldn't have heard me out if I was just like.
But then the funny part is, after you buy it and you push send in order, then you still sit there and you holding your phone or you looking at your laptop like,
yes,
should I cancel the order? Should I cancel the order? Should I?
Dude.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna just walk away.
I knew you motherfuckers was gonna understand, fam.
But here's the thing too. So I attended this thing through work, right? It was I think through the Milwaukee Urban League, and it was kind of like a State of Black America, but it emphasized and focused on Milwaukee. So like, we're Milwaukee Midwest based podcast. So this is why. This sounds like Tripp was just talking about his homie in college, right? They just lived a way different lifestyle. But like, these are the stats that that came out, and this was like, and I apologize, I think it's like Dr. Levine who presented on this, and I was just taking notes, right? So when it comes to like the top 50 largest metropolitan areas, right?
Right.
Milwaukee is still the most segregated. Milwaukee is still has the highest black poverty rate. Milwaukee still has the greatest, achievement gap, and so on and so forth. The point being, when as we're sitting here, fam, to get to where we got is like, we gotta be like proud of ourselves.
For sure.
Because and then proud of the motherfuckers who made sure that and helped us get here, because we are from a place where a lot of motherfuckers like us didn't make it. So, we're not going to be talking about test driving the new Maybach. You know what I'm saying? We talking about our kids are approaching college, in college. We're trying to motherfucking like, we grow motherfucking communities, like literally, and what we're doing. So like, when I think about the work that we do as people, like in a city like this, like, fam, like, we gotta, and that's why I talk about, like, I don't have time to argue with somebody. I would rather, instead of arguing with this person, I would rather go build with that person. So like, now when I see folks doing good things, man, like, we gotta celebrate people. It's too much bullshit going on to act like. So that's why when something good happens, I'm celebrating the fuck out of that shit, because I'm like, if not, everything we do, we wake up as gloom and doom. It's the fucking election.
It kind of is.
It got it is, but the thing is, so here's the thing. But you mean to tell me that Martin Luther King they never did anything fun?
That's a lot of jokes right there. Back off on that one.
I'm just saying.
I almost got a whoop for that when I was a kid.
What you mean?
So we grew up in the church, right? So
you notice he said church. That's different from church,
right?
Everybody goes. If you grew up in church, because your mama said Jesus and you went to church on Easter, and shit like that. Church is you was in church like 4 to 5 days out the week, and shit like 3 times on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
So we was in church, and my question was, because some shit. So how Toby got the song, like he was like, that part of the Bible don't sit right with me.
Yeah.
So it was some shit in the Bible that just didn't make sense. I don't even want to say the Bible, but church.
Okay.
That just didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So they always was like, you can't listen to secular music. So my question was, and it was an innocent question, and I was like, "So you mean to tell me, not necessarily in these words, because I was a kid, I'd have got slapped in the mouth at, so you mean to tell me, I wouldn't even got the rest
play
out.
That shit. That's talking back, man.
I wouldn't be podcasting today.
Yeah, that's talking back.
But my question was, so you're telling me that in the Bible, when they had these parties, because there was multiple parties and celebrations, that you telling me that only music they listened to was about God? I was like, I don't get it.
I'm sure it's going down by Young Jock was playing for sure.
I don't know. I don't even know if it was Young. I don't know.
I mean, he was God. He had all the records before they came out. Fam.
I'm just saying, fam. I'm
Like,
sure they was listening.
Hey, them shits was already written, fam.
Hey, they listened to Damn.
So like, it was one of the ones that was like, like you're not supposed to question, but it was like, so like they had weddings and shit. You can't tell me like they singing the same church song at every like it's saying that they drinking wine and dancing. Like,
yeah,
we don't drink wine and dance at church. So either they wrong or we wrong, but somebody wrong. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. But
they do a lot of shit at church that never mind.
Right.
Jokes alone.
But so like, yeah, that shit up. But here's
I got a joke I'm gonna tell y'all.
So the funny thing is, like, later on down the line, like, you know how you like they say you gotta like read shit for yourself. So later on down the line, like, I read some shit in the Bible where it said that everything on here was created by him and for him.
Okay.
So like, music is music. And in my eyes, that if music is supposed to tell a story, and my music is supposed to tell a story, it should tell a true story. So my life ain't all about what we did in Sunday morning. So he can't look badly on me telling the true story. But then, like, my mom later on told me about, there was an old bishop that she said they were like at a restaurant, and he would actually still tap his feet, and Bob had said to like secular music, and she asked him why, and he pretty much said the same shit, like, not same shit, but he said the same thing, like, music is music, and it was all, it's all, like Jay-Z said, owned by him, whatever, however you want to put it, and like, you can't like let the views of people affect how you view everything, but that whole thing about like the music shit, that almost got
remember, Trip, I remember when you first came back from school, you did not listen to rap no more. So the funny thing is, I thought I corrupted Trip, because Trip wasn't really cussing no more. So, but this is my guy. So I'm like, okay, Trip, we super close. We've been close. So Trip comes home from school, and I was like, oh man, I corrupted my friend. He listens to rap again. I think he
I think,
I ruined my friend.
it was one of them things where, like, how like
you ain't cuss, fam.
It was a period of a few years where I ain't cussed.
When he came from college, boy, like seriously, I was like, man.
You go down these paths, like, like you really like searching for yourself, like, shit like that. Like, when I left here, I was cussing, listening to rap. I went, not that I totally switched, but like, like I did get like off in the church, like real deep. But I think like
at college,
not in the beginning.
I was gonna say you colleged wrong, fam. That's where you supposed to get wild.
It was towards the end. It was towards the end.
Okay. Yeah.
Not in the beginning. In the beginning, nigga,
that's what
I never went to his school, but I went to his school.
Exactly. That's okay. That's why I was like, what kind of college you went to, my dude?
No, it was like towards the end. Like, when I went, like, I was Pleasant Frat. I was in frat parties. We was traveling around the nation and shit, like partying and shit.
That's when I know when Trip was in town.
Yeah. I think Hey, I was like, hey, nigga, we finna go to this party. Let's go.
Yeah, that's how I got in every college party because Trip was like tripping and it's his frat. They were here. That's why I'm like, I loved frat.
I think I had like you could call it like my Andre 3000 moment where I got to a point where I was like, there's got to be a higher purpose.
Okay.
And I think I was looking for a higher purpose. And I think I looked in that direction because that was familiar.
Right.
Not necessarily that it's the wrong direction, but I think that sometimes when you go in that direction and you're looking and you're grasping, you know, you're grasping for purpose and people are grasping for followers, and you kind of like attach to movement. You attach to a movement or a belief, and you go down that road because you believe that this might be it. And I think, you know, you kind of like, you kind of, you know, you commit to that thing.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is. And I'm saying thing because, you know, for some people it's different things. And, you know, you're looking for that to get you to what you believe is that higher purpose.
Right.
Not saying that all of it is bad.
Yeah.
Not saying that all of it is good. I just, at some point I came to an understanding that there are some good things that I definitely align with. There are some things that I just definitely can't really align with because at the end of the day, and it wasn't speak that corrupted me, it was me still being me because at the end of the day, like you still you.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where like I just couldn't still regurgitate or believe certain shit that didn't add up to me.
Right.
You know, and like, you know, and they'd be like, you know, so like, you know, some of the biggest cliches that they'll feed you in church and not necessarily in church, but whatever moment is they'd be like, you know, he's not the author of confusion, don't question God, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. And you listen to it and you go with it, but then when you put them both together and you like, if he's not the author of confusion, and if I don't understand something, why can't I ask him a question? Because if I'm not supposed to be confused, but if I'm not supposed to be confused, and I don't understand something,
you need clarity,
and you are supposed to be my savior, my leader, my all in all, then why can't I ask you for understanding about what's going on?
You better preach.
So,
because you can't.
But
that's it, bro.
Are you sure? Are you sure you can't, JG?
If it's good enough for Jesus, how come it ain't good enough for you?
But it's not. So here's the thing. So then, as you study.
That's the devil.
And you know what? And I got that too. I
know you did.
But
I know you did. You asked too many questions. You got God.
So in my research, of history, not just biblical history or MPS public school history, history.
Yeah, man.
I took a modern civ class, and in modern civ, we covered the Catholic Church, which really, even though we don't, they use the same Bible, so it aligns with what we call the Kojic Church more than people believe. And to find out that, you know how you got the Lutheran Church? So the Lutheran Church started because Martin Luther questioned the Catholic Church. Because if you notice, if you go to a lot of Catholic churches, a lot of Catholics don't carry their own Bible.
True.
They go strictly off of whatever the preacher teaches. They do confessions because they confess to the priest, and the priest goes to God on their behalf. So back in the day, and you find out that the Catholic Church was government, and government ran the country, and that's why America left England, because church and state, they would just use, if they wanted to make something a law, they just added it to the church. And if you believe in God, then you got to follow this law, because if you don't, then you go to hell. Shit like that. So if I was a king and I ran the church because I was government, I just make the priests make the shit biblical and throw the shit in the church, and now you got to do it. Yep. But Martin Luther came in and he was like, he said it in Latin terms, but it was like solo scriptura and solo something else. And pretty much he said, I don't need you. I can read the Bible myself.
That's what I said.
And then the other one was, I don't need to confess to a priest. I can talk to God myself.
Because I ain't no snitch.
So then they brought Martin Luther.
I like the translation.
They brought Martin Luther in front of the court and they told him, you got to denounce both of those statements or we're going to kick you out. He left. Started the Lutheran church. So
you gotta do
same shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Now you got as many churches as B-Dubs got sauce.
Yeah, but here's this is why
said, have it your way.
Have it
right,
your way.
Right. And this is how like when I step back and look at the whole picture. When you look at all that shit, like all these different, and they call them denominations now.
I call them
all these different sauces.
So I want to name this podcast Curry Jesus, but I'm afraid.
You can do that. You can call it Thai Curry Jesus.
But no,
I'm afraid.
all these Thai, you said Thai Curry Jesus?
Thai Curry Jesus. Hey, that Thai Curry at B-Dubs.
But the thing is like, my thing is like, all these people use the same Bible.
Yep.
Yeah.
All those
with the same scriptures.
Yeah.
And they all believe different shit.
Yeah.
That's like saying like, we all read See Jack Run. But then we all come up with something different.
Yeah. I'm saying he sprinted. JG saying he power walked, and you saying he just ran. And Demon was like, Jack is with Terry and Chrissy, Three's Company.
Like at the crib. That wasn't Jack.
Come on, knock on our door.
Wait. No, hey. No, Demon was like, I thought he was trying to be president. He ran an election.
He ran, right. Like,
yeah, man.
But I just find it like hard because like I just found it like y'all can't even get along and y'all got the same playbook.
Look, that's why every team can't win a championship, bro.
Yeah, they choose to fight.
That's why every team can't. And yeah. So like, I don't know. What I found myself doing, I'm kind of exploring African religions and try to studying, just seeing what was done and just seeing what I can relate to and what I might align with. But like, I don't know what's going to come out of it. I'm not even looking for anything except more information. I'm not going to take this and be like, I'm this now.
Right.
I think being who I am is like, I respect everything as far as like that's concerned, but I respect it all because I believe that there's some truth in it all. But I just can't subscribe to just that one truth. I want to hear all of them.
You get people that add their own. It's like, I'll take this much of it and then I'll add my own agenda to this part of it. And I take it's like, I don't want to say cult, but it is. It's like, because a lot of cults start with scripture. And like, I'll take enough of it just to pervert it. And that's just fucked up.
All a cult is religion, but perverted. You believe in the wrong motherfucker.
You know?
That's really all it is.
It's like everybody want to be it's like motherfuckers portraying themselves to be the Messiah. Like,
yeah. So I'm just saying, fam, that's really what that shit is. They're very similar, but you gotta understand that the difference being that in most cults.
Oh, you said cult, not like 45.
Yeah, no, cult.
Shit, they might be drinking coke.
They might.
They're drinking coke in the coke.
Oh, Thai Curry and Coke 45.
There you go, dog. That shit, but yeah, I would even say that they're the same as a church, just that in the eyes of the masses, the church worships a more acceptable deity. Now, your cults, they usually worship some weird shit, like the motherfuckers that worship the spaceship that was coming. And you always got to drink Kool-Aid with the motherfuckers. I don't know why they fucking hate Kool-Aid so much.
Because that's how they poison motherfuckers.
Yeah, they always. I'm like, dog, fuck.
Motherfuckers drink Kool-Aid and wake up dead. Like,
right. I'm like, dog, I see the motherfucker when
He said, "Wake up dead."
Wake up dead. Floating in the air, looking at your body like,
I don't like that shit, bro.
Oh, some dope ass red Kool-Aid. All right, y'all.
Right.
Dude
them motherfuckers be.
Dude said, where are we watching the game at? We're not.
Bro,
we're not.
That's why I be like suspicious of motherfuckers that like look to be inspired and look for something to believe in. Those are some weird motherfuckers.
It's just like
the thing is, but this is the nature of who we are, bro. But
that's like
we are a tribal people. Like,
but
people,
no, but that's like
society is communal. Like, I mean, we don't have a whole like, because think about it. If you're a loner, you're looked at as being weird. And
I think
people that control shit, they want to move us in flocks and herds, and this is how the world works.
But you know what? And that's the thing. So like, and I think I just think too much because that's why I think, and I don't even think like the Bible initially called us sheep. I think somebody put that in there. Maybe I'm wrong. But you got to think, if you ever seen sheep, like sheep are obedient to the point that they're dumb.
That's facts.
That like, if the sheep is following the shepherd and the shepherd walks off the edge of the cliff, the motherfucker's gonna walk off the cliff with
all of them
and die. So I think for me, and I think it was a gradual. I think I was gradually moved and pushed at the same time.
Okay.
Because like it would be like shit. Like I'd be like at the fucking barbecue restaurant, and motherfuckers, they always want to come in and tell you about their church, and I'd be like, yeah, God bless you. Yeah, I go to church. Yeah, I got church on blah 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 blah. And motherfuckers, instead of be like, oh, that's good. Glad you know Jesus. Blah 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 blah. I would get shit like, yeah. You should try my church though.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. They're like, yo, my church.
Is that on the bands, my nigga? What the?
They're like, the milkshake at my church.
Right.
Brings all the boys.
Bring all the boys to the yard.
Pause.
All of them.
The milkshake at my
all
church.
Of them.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, man.
Oh shit, dude, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Y'all know y'all going to hell, right? For that.
What you mean?
Y'all going to hell. They expect that shit from me, so it would just be normal. But from y'all,
JG, you started this.
Going to hell.
You three going to hell. You three.
Listen, you the shepherd.
Hey man, I'm gonna put AC in the motherfucker. I accepted that a long time.
It's like, oh, that's why you're so good at what you do.
Yeah. I'm being hell chilling. Literally.
He's like, y'all just sit over there and wait.
Yep.
I kind of feel like
he said, I already pre-ordered parts.
I'm good, fam.
Hey, but sometimes I feel like Homer. I was watching the one episode of Homer. Homer always wanted to stay home and watch football, and Marge kept making him go to church. And Homer was like, he's like, so what if we actually practicing the wrong religion, and every Sunday we go to church, we just actually making God mad?
Wow.
You gonna find out, fam, when you get there.
But and you know
what?
You
one of them Lutheran motherfuckers, huh? Down.
Yep.
He said down.
Down.
Because here's my thing, like. So
my name don't sound nothing like Allah, motherfucker. Down.
And I know somebody probably like if I say this,
pork is delicious, nigga.
We might get like I don't believe the way that they conventionally teach us about heaven and hell no more. Like
okay,
if like so like you love your kids, right? And
yeah, it's team. I love them kids and team. Fuck them kids.
So we supposed to be his kids and he love us, right? But then in the same vein, they teach us that he know everything before it happened, right?
Yeah.
And that everything is predestined and shit like that, right? So if I force myself to do something other than what I want to do or what I feel like I should do, am I going against what I was predestined to do?
No, he knew
Well,
that. He knew that too.
some people that are
And then here's
I
the
don't know
other
what they
thing.
call it. They will say that he didn't take away the freedom of choice or the will of
Right.
man. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know. I'm not even going to sit here and act like I know.
So he gave us free will.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, but
Shout out to my cousin Will.
what up, Will? I ain't seen Will since we recorded indoors.
No.
Nah.
Oh,
He's in
Will,
Vegas now.
remember the dude when we had the show? The one dude that sat in the back, like dude on the couch.
Homie in the corner.
Yeah, that's
but
Will.
Didn't say nothing. That's Will.
He had a mic too. He was live.
Yeah.
And he say
He
nothing.
didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's Will.
But the thing is, like, if you my dad and you told me, as long as you acknowledge me and believe that I'm your dad, I'm gonna take care of you on my will.
Good point.
He's an insecure motherfucker, fam. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
According to
He's
them,
an insecure motherfucker. God and both of them, God and Jesus, insecure in the motherfucker.
According to the way people make them
Bro,
sound.
speak. You say you talk to your daughters occasionally, right?
Yes, we talk every day.
Do you demand that they call and thank you?
No.
What you did for
Not
them?
anymore.
Don't
Not
get
anymore.
it wrong. I'd be a little pissed when them motherfuckers be like, man, you ain't really do shit. I'd be like, hey, motherfucker. So you want some appreciation, but the shit ain't like mandatory. Like, hey, son, if you don't say thanks, Pops, for paying for all that AAU shit and helping me get to where I'm gonna be, you gonna burn in hell for eternity. Like, what the fuck is that, fam? Like,
so you telling me, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so you telling me that I gotta burn because I wanted to listen to DJ Quick while I was driving to work?
Hey, fam.
Dude, hey, true story. True story. I used to listen to DJ Quick on the way to church.
DJ Quick is the shit. He used a lot of live instruments, which they use in church.
Amen.
You telling me?
Won't he do it? He did it.
He thanked Jesus for
you
sweet
telling me that I gotta burn because I didn't go to a building on Sunday morning and sit there for 4 hours?
Well, guess what? Technically, this is church. What we're doing,
right?
Technically,
yeah. When you read, even if you read the Bible according to how the Bible, yeah, definitely.
Technically, yeah.
Because here's the thing. Because here's the thing. The Bible never said you got to go to church, Sunday school, blah, 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 blah. All those different things was made up by dudes, by men. The Bible said that this is what it said. It said it's good to fellowship among the brethren. Aren't we fellowshipping?
We are.
Are you not my brethren?
Dog, if one of you motherfuckers
I am your keeper.
About tithe, I'm out of here though.
I'm sorry.
So ain't no building fund, fam. We just
and you ain't building shit.
Yeah, ain't none of that, bro. But you got the dope range, bro. Don't even get me started, fam.
Oh, what you say, Demon? At 10%?
Yeah, don't even get me started on that part of it.
You know,
man.
Build the house of worship.
There you go.
Man, can we at least get a new door knocker on the fucking door?
Man, what about AC, my nigga? What about AC?
Right.
AC Green?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop giving us those 1980 church fans and put some AC in this joint.
Bro.
Man, dude.
Nah, it's cool. I get it. But like I said, man,
I think there's different levels of need.
That's what I'm getting at.
People need different levels of support. So for somebody showing up this morning, is the support or the level of support.
Oh my goodness, yes, and it's super helpful to a lot of people.
Yep.
A lot of people. Like, man, dude, the funny thing, like living in the South for a few years, bro, it's like, hey, how are you doing? What church you go to?
Yeah.
When I told people, because I was typically, because of work, I'm around more older people than younger people, and it was like the look that you would get when you tell people you don't go to church. Like, really? I'm like, yeah, I don't.
and like
I
people don't believe
They
it.
be like, you don't have leprosy or nothing?
But people don't believe it. And again, I'm probably
like,
gonna
no,
get
sister, I
like,
have reciprocity and love and light.
Exactly.
they probably gonna punch my hell ticket twice for this one because
Oh shit! Let me put my
so.
seatbelt on. Hold up.
But I'm not finna say anything that's like not known. It's like we can't acknowledge that slavery was fucked up and not acknowledge that religion was part of the institution of slavery.
Yeah.
Dude, I say that all the time. And
you now get me. Not
oh my
not
God.
the belief in God. I'm not saying believing in God was part of the institution of slavery because we believed in a higher being. Maybe we didn't call it, I don't know what language we spoke when we were
Some
in
people
Africa,
argue that Christianity was in Africa before slavery. I don't know if that's true or not.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly it was. However,
it still wasn't being used how it ultimately got used.
Right. It was used, and a lot of people, and I think so. This is why, and maybe this is why they did it. So remember when dude made the Nat Turner movie, and there was a big pushback about Nat Turner, the Nat Turner movie, and then all of a sudden it came out the dude had got accused of rape, and then all of a sudden all the women was like, everybody's like, don't
they
support
cancel
the movie.
him because I heard that movie was good.
So in that movie, he showed how they used slavery how they used religion and used a slave as a preacher to control the slaves to the point where Nat Turner was that preacher originally, and he learned how to read because his slave master's wife taught him how to read by reading the Bible. However, there were only certain scriptures he was allowed to read, and the rest of the scriptures he weren't allowed to read. But he would preach to the slaves on his plantation on Sundays, but it was always motivational, uplifting stuff. So his slaves on that plantation was always in good spirits. So the other slave owners from all around the South came to his owner, and was like, "Look, we'll pay you to bring that nigga to our plantation to preach to my slaves, because I need my slaves to work like your slaves.
Come get him geeked."
Yep.
Come get him geeked. Dude, oh my God. So do you know what movie I just watched? Speaking of Nat Turner, Rebellion. I just bought it because it was Janelle Monáe, and I really rocks with her. I think she's super dope.
She's strapped too. She's fine.
Antebellum.
Yeah.
That movie.
She's in that?
Yeah, she's the star. So like how I would describe that movie, because my wife, she was completely shocked that I even recommended that we watch this movie, because she knows I typically don't watch these kind of movies. But I was like, I really fucks with Janelle Monáe. She's like super dope. And she has a lot to say. So I'm like, if she took this role, but man, it's like a lot of that. It's like that kind of how one was brainwashed and to think this way, to live this way, whatever. Like, and I think it was done well. If you're a feminist, you're gonna enjoy the movie. If you are just a fan of Janelle Monáe, you're gonna enjoy the movie. If you love the Get Outs of the world, you're gonna love this movie. So it was very well put together. But it was when you think about all the shit that's going on, it was something that I was just shocked that I ultimately decided to watch it. But it was good. But it talked about that whole thing about being, as Tripp was talking about, being led and misled and whatever, then coming into your own. At the end of the day, you gotta. But so as we bring the podcast to the close, so we talk about all this shit. So then, and we've asked ourselves these questions before. So I won't belabor that because we asked the questions as far as like, who are you? What do you stand for? So like, I guess I would start with you, JG, and say, now knowing what you know, experiencing what you're experiencing, what's one next step that you're comfortable sharing with our 4 million listeners? You got to speak it into fruition. Speaking of fruition.
To fruition.
to fruition. All of the fruits.
Shit. That's a tough ass question, man.
So yeah, we gonna put your feet to the fire because I mean we are who we are. So you know, you're our brother. We gotta hold you accountable to that shit because it's like we could. One thing I know, like, because you can sit there and then just be stuck there for years.
Yeah, you could. That's
You could
definitely
just
true.
be and just wandering around for years. Meanwhile, now the babies are grown, and you
Right.
just been sitting back wandering. So like, yeah, man. So we're definitely gonna push you.
That's definitely the next thing, man, is that first step into who I am, so I can figure out who the fuck I'm gonna be.
Bro,
From
for
this point
sure.
on. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's more like the first thing I'm starting to do though is I'm eliminating stresses right now.
Yes.
The shit that
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because that shit can become a defining factor in who you are.
Yep.
And I'm starting to see that now. So the first step that I decided to take is instead of trying to correct and educate, I hereby swear to allow stupid motherfuckers to stay stupid. I'm letting them stay stupid, fam.
Scouts,
I
got
love
other
it.
shit to do.
He said Scout's honor. I love it. I love
I
it.
got other shit to do. So when I hear you say some stupid shit or I read some stupid shit that you wrote, I'm gonna just bypass that shit. And you know, when all that shit crash and burn, motherfucker, hopefully you figure it out. I'm gonna be over here doing the fuck I'm supposed to be doing.
Hey, we were just talking about that in pre-production.
Yeah,
All right.
so it's like that's me.
All right, Dima. What's something? Because we're all in this. We're at the end of the day, we're all in this chapter one way or the another. So, what's something, knowing what you know now, like a direction that you're gonna take?
And I don't know if it's something that, knowing what I know now, I think I've always chosen to do for self. Finding things that you want to do and doing them.
Yeah.
Whether there's other hats to wear, I may be limited, and some people may ask you to not do things for self because they expect more from you. But I've never let that stop me, I guess.
Yeah.
That's good,
but sometimes
man.
it's hard internally, you know.
It is.
Issues and arguments, and
because you have to. But the thing is, if you never choose you,
then you'll be me. That's real shit, bro.
like I mean,
that's what I should have did.
There's certain things, bro, that I never let go of. I mean, like I've been infatuated, in love with hip hop since I was a fucking child, bro. And it doesn't matter who I'm with, and that includes my children.
So
I am hip hop. That has to be a part of me. You gotta, it's like take it or leave it.
And so for me, when time does become more available later in life, I think I'll just dedicate more of that time to things that are already happening. But I think for you, JG, it's more about now rediscovering what those extras are that make you happy.
Yep.
You're kind of relearning that, which
That's
is cool
facts.
because you're going to be trying a lot of different things and seeing where you want to spend that extra time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's real.
What about you, Trip? What you got for us?
I think for me, I think I'm at the point where it's more so bettering or trying to master those things that really matter to me outside of being, a dad or those other hats that I wear, and just the ones that really matter. I think as much as we get to the point where we don't give a fuck about certain shit, there is a part that kind of looks for acceptance and kind of, still kind of appreciates guidance. And sometimes we grab shit because somebody suggested, and we go down a path, and not because we really want to go down that path, but because somebody said, hey, this hat looks good on you.
Yeah.
And then you get down the path and you like, I ain't never liked this shit.
Yeah.
The fuck am I doing? So I work really well with youth. Really well. Not being cocky, but on some cocky shit. Like I work really well with youth.
Agreed.
So when I got to the school that I'm in, I got my master's and shit like that. My boss was like, "Look, like you're really good. Like you possibly should go and get like a full-fledged teacher's license." And I was like, "You know what? I should." And I was really like getting my ducks in a row to go do it. But then, like when the pandemic hit, and I got to just sit down and think for a minute. And we have to do these things every year about like our goals and our plans. And that was like one of my goals and my plan. And I had to go back and I was like, and we were talking because I reviewed it with her and I was like, I said, I don't think I want to do that. He was like, I said, not that I don't want to work with kids. I love working with kids. I said, I got my sub license. I got my master's. I think as far as that, I'm good right there. I don't really want to go back and sit in somebody's classroom. And I don't really want to be a teacher as a career for the rest of my life. Not that anything is wrong with teachers.
But you have a different choice, yeah.
Right. It's not where I want to be. I can't look up 30 more years down the line and see myself still inside a classroom doing the same shit that I'm doing today. And not, like I said, not that that's not a bad thing, but it's not the thing for me. So just looking at that, like I'll probably always do some work in the community. Maybe not always with kids, maybe something where I'm still empowering people. So I just took like the shit that are like important to me now. So like I do the clothing line, I do the pictures. So I took that. And now the pictures, like I'll shoot anybody because it's a hobby, but I can.
That's so perfect because how we started the podcast.
Right. But I can take that same passion and use it as empowerment. So like one of my sorors, our sister fraternity, she hit me up in my inbox and it kind of confirmed it. She's like, dude, you're dope. And I was like, what the fuck is you talking about? She was like, your pictures, and me talked about it on the phone. He was like, I like the fact that you use regular women to promote your shit. And she was like, I use your pictures. She said, I never told you. She said, but I use your pictures to mentor a group of women with body image issues.
Wow.
And your pictures uplift them because you're using regular women that look like them to sell a whole line of clothes.
And did you tell her she owe you some fucking money?
She spends money all the time, G.
Okay, she
probably listening. She's actually one of our 4 listeners.
Like we ain't got no contract.
4 million. 4 million.
Like I'm like goddamn contracts.
I'm like DMX on that one. When I look on the screen, I don't see the 4 million.
But guess what? In the world of podcasting, these numbers don't mean shit anyway.
I know.
Like I've been listening to all these like whatever. But yeah, so
right.
That's why I say we got 4 million listeners.
So I'm just trying to master the shit that's important to me. So like, the photography shit, the making clothes shit, and then my weight loss goal. My weight loss goal I set on I think July 29th. So I started my birthday month of August with my weight loss goal, and my first goal is to lose 100 pounds. So I've been on that goal. This is 2 months now. August, September. I weighed in on Friday. I'm down 20.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's 10 pounds a month. And if I can keep that going, another 8 months, I'll be down 100.
Yeah.
And that's the healthy way too.
And just like thinking to myself, like, so just being prepared, like, so once I hit 100, what am I going to do? Because I don't want to hit 100 and then just be standing still like a little kid on punishment that can't leave the block.
I got a suggestion. When you lose 100, you just gotta get on your bald head whole shit, just like you don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna do a photo shoot and go Ross in the whole photo shoot.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Yes.
When I hit 100, I'm gonna actually once I hit 100, if I get myself to 100, or when I get myself to 100, that's a goal that I obtained off of my own hard work. So then to push it to the next level, I got a guy that he's a bodybuilder and he does training. So once I hit 100,
oh, you was telling us about, bro. Yeah.
I'm gonna pay for sessions to work out with dude and just go to another level. Not to the necessary point of trying to lose another 100, but once I hit 100, I'll actually wait. When I lose 100 pounds, I'll weigh what I weighed our freshman year of high school.
Word.
And then I'll just like get cut or whatever the fuck dude,
yeah,
you know, can make me do with his workouts.
Yeah.
You know,
dude,
just
that's love, man. That's love.
I just JG, don't drop a tear over there, because I'm sort of envious of your position, and I just want to comment back on my experience. You know, I wasted a lot of time making decisions that I thought I wanted to make, but they were actually based on other people's peer pressures or my surroundings,
right?
Dedicating myself or choosing to do certain things which I thought I wanted to. Looking back at it, I wasted a lot of time and a lot of life where I should have been focusing on other things. You didn't. You focused on what was really important for a long time. Some things, got lost in the shuffle as far as you choosing to do things for yourself, but now you're going to make decisions not based on what others are telling you or influencing you, but you're going to make the right decision. So like for me, like you guys were talking about choosing to not buy something for yourself and spending the money on your kids. Well, my choice would be I'd still buy something for myself, and that ends up to credit card debt, shit like that. So those decisions weren't maybe the smartest by saying, well, I'm still going to choose me. So don't be too sad about where you're at, I think.
Yeah, man, it's and real talk, shit, bro.
Thanks, man.
It's a delicate balance, bro. It's a delicate balance.
Dude,
because
like, life is balanced, though. That's what we don't understand.
And all
look at our country now, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you,
there is no fucking balance. That's
all I'm trying to do. All I'm trying to do is have balance. So like, just like I got, and so like for me, I got two kids that are quote unquote grown. I got an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old. Then I have two 16-year-olds that are in two states, and I'm talking to them and I'm preparing for them, because like these are like, it's my baby boy and my baby girl. So it's like, holy shit. But I'm at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I gotta feel comfortable in the love and knowledge that I instill. So I'm preparing already. Like I be talking empty nest, and my wife is like, dang, like you pushing the kids out? I'm like, no, but at the same time, it's a celebration. It's like, so what you guys have taught me today in pre-production and during this podcast, what you guys have taught me is that sometimes, like, we can be so hard on ourselves for what and I don't know if this is a man thing, I'm not sure. We can be so hard on ourselves for the things that we don't do, or people perceive that we don't do, or people perceive that we are not, that you don't recognize like how fucking dope you are. And like I was thinking about something, and we talked about it pre-production, that was bothering me, but like forgetting a whole different conversation that I had with a leader who I look up to, who's talking to me about, yo, I really admire the leader that you are. I really enjoy what you're doing, and I appreciate being a part of it, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, fam, you gotta be, if you're uncomfortable, be uncomfortable by choice, but don't just be uncomfortable for the sake of being fucking uncomfortable, bro. Right. At the end of the day, because no, we won't be perfect in any of this shit. But I'm uncomfortable because I'm pushing towards something. But I'm not just going to sit here and be uncomfortable just for the sake of you motherfuckers. Like, no, you got to, because what are you getting out of life?
Yeah, and you know what?
For everybody else.
To what I was saying, so like when I told my boss that, and this is kudos to her for being a good leader, like when I told her that, she was like, you know what? I can understand that. Damn. And she was like, so here's another option. Because she's older. She was like, so we want to start, and she's like, here's another option. And she's like, it's probably more aligned with you and what you've done in the past. She's like, we want to start using, whatchamacallit, justice restorative
justice.
We want to start using restorative justice in the school. She was like, and I think you would probably be great to take that facilitator class for restorative justice.
Oh, you're gonna kill that, bro.
And it was like, and once you get that certification of being a mediator, she's like, I can put you in contact with the mediation, whatever, of Milwaukee. And she's like, and that's a money making opportunity too, because she's like, sometimes they pay you to mediate, divorces and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. I went to a conference one year and I sat, for you had the little breakouts or whatever, and I sat in a restorative justice breakout and hearing the experts and knowing you, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, but then COVID happened, so we can't do restorative justice.
COVID said, fuck your restorative justice.
We're not letting all the kids in the building yet.
It's virtual justice.
We're not letting all the kids in the building, and we definitely not going to put them all in one room and sit in a circle to discuss.
Right.
Hey, man, I discovered a new COVID symptom. I don't know if I told y'all.
No.
What is it? Your nose itching?
Nah, that motherfucking dog, it saps your strength.
Dude, so I thought about you when I was watching something on CNN, I think the website. So now they're finding that, and how you were saying, like, you still feel symptoms, that they're finding now there are more people that are having long-term residual symptoms even after they have recovered from the actual illness part.
That shit is factual, bro. It was so I got a doctor's appointment actually on the 7th because I was gonna jump back on my bike and all that shit, man. But I'm actually kind of scared to do the shit because I ain't feeling quite right. But I don't know if our listeners know this, but my wife bought a new dining room set a few months ago. I've been trying to sell this big ass table.
I saw that shit. I thought it was gone by now.
Yeah, it's gone now, finally. But so when the new set came, I had to break the old one down. I break it down, I carry it out into the garage, right? No big deal. Then I tried to sell it. Don't nobody want to fucking buy it. And fuck y'all for not buying it. But that's cool. I sold it. So I got it out in the garage. A couple weeks later, I get the COVID shit. So I'm down to 16 days, whatever. And I'm supposed to be back good, right? About 2 weeks after I got cleared, this chick called me. Dude, funny story real quick. 2 chicks called me same day. They both want the table. They both seem like really nice people. I don't know how to pick, right? So they made my decision for me. Check this out. So the one chick, she's coming today to look at the table. I'm like, okay, cool. And she calls, she sends me a message and she said, look, I have a little issue with the money now. It's only $100. She's like, I'm having a little issue with the money. I don't have, because I'm cash only. She's like, I'm having an issue with the money. I don't have the cash. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's no problem. And then about an hour later, she messaged me back, can I write you a check? I'm like, bitch, what? You're like, fuck.
They still use
a check. How you? You just told me you ain't. Did you forget? You just told me you ain't got no money. Now you gonna write me a check? I look that damn stupid to you, dog.
You can write a check, but you can't go to the time machine.
And you're gonna be gone with the damn table, and I'm gonna be stuck with $100 rubber ass check. Man, fuck out of here. So obviously, I sold it to the other chick. So she come to get the table. She back her truck up, and I'm pissed, right? I'm like, damn, because it's a woman. So I'm like, I mean, I gotta load all this shit in her motherfucking truck. I told you, don't bring your son or boyfriend or something. Bring a motherfucker with you. I don't want to do nothing but get the money and say, there go the table. So she opened her truck. I'm gonna grab the table and put it in first. I grab the table. I can't pick that motherfucker up off the floor. Like, it's too fucking heavy. I'm like, hold on, I'm the motherfucker brought it out here. What the fuck is going on?
Wow.
I mean, dog, I can't get this motherfucker off the floor. Fam, I'm in. Well, hold on. Let me get my perfect lifting form. I'm gonna squat down. I'm gonna grab it low and make sure I use my legs, not my back. All that shit, fam. I can't lift this damn table. Dog, I'm like, bitch, come help me pick up this table. So she had to help me load the fucking table in the truck.
Damn. Wow.
And she looking at me like, big weak ass nigga, what the fuck wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bitch, do you want the table or not? You know what I'm saying? The money in my pocket, I can throw this shit on the ground. You can fuck off my property and take me to court for $100 then if you want to talk shit, or do you?
Right.
I'm just joking. But she had to help me get the table in the truck, fam.
Wow.
So then she left. Now, dog, that shit really bothered me psychologically. We'll talk about that later when I feel like I'm healed fully psychologically. But dog, I'm like about to break down because that shit really fucking with me. Like, I'm looking at my arms and shit like, man, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I reach out to the docs and they like, man, you're going to have to do a few follow-up visits because it might be some other shit wrong with you. That shit do a lot of damage that people are just now finding out.
Yeah.
After the fact, people keep forgetting. We call it COVID-19 now, man. We forgetting that novella part, that new part. The shit new. They still learning about it. But when I had it, I was documenting symptoms and improvements and shit on this app the whole time, and sending it to the health department here, and they saving it. They process. They collecting data because it's new. But stupid motherfuckers is like, see all this shit changing every day. Don't know what the fuck they talking about.
But the thing is, I'm learning about this now. In a lot of this public health stuff talks about epidemiology and all this other stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, this is not a fucking movie, bro.
No, it ain't.
People need to understand, and like, it's difficult. It's difficult trying to show up to work and pretend that it's not a thing.
Yep.
When
because I have to do that.
And we have people. I have staff that work in the community. I have all like only my baby girl is not out exposed to it, but my son works, my oldest works, my second oldest is in school. Right. So it's just like, dude, so you're always thinking about your loved ones because things are gonna change. Like the thing, I don't know everything, but one of the things that I know and I have learned, the value, we cannot underestimate the value of the CDC and the value of World Health Organization and the fact that, like, this, as you're feeding this data, you are actually part of the fight when you're feeding this data. So like, we all have to play our part, bro.
I had to yell at my sons to do that because a lot of people don't know this, but my sons also tested positive. They were completely asymptomatic though. So part of my state of mind, fortunately our house is large enough where we could quarantine at home. But I was in the basement in the man cave pretty much by myself, beating the hell out of myself for bringing that shit home to my babies, right? A disease that you don't know if you're going to die till after you get the shit.
Yeah.
And I'm down there struggling with it, feeling like I'm gonna fucking die. So that shit was all in my head. But fam, as far as the long lasting effects, like I said, man, I thought I was good about the 8th day. Then I lost my smell and taste. So I thought I was bad again. Then it started to kind of come back. It still ain't back all the way because I still can't eat my favorite food, which is pepperoni pizza. That shit tastes horrible now. I can only taste certain elements of the food. You get what I'm saying? Because I can't taste it, so I can't eat it. But dude, had I not had that incident with the table, because if you look at the science in that little story, like if, say I would have sold the table before I got rid of COVID, right? And then I was helping Dima move a couch, I'm just be like, God damn, dog, your couch heavy in a motherfucker. Keep it moving.
Yep.
But because it was something that I had personally lifted
and brought out
weeks
there
before, and I can't lift it now, then it was like, something wrong. You know what I mean? If it had been any kind of different object,
think about
I
it like
went.
For like 16 days, the flow of oxygen into your body was cut tremendously. So like, who are you like without oxygen? Like your organs need oxygen and shit to function.
That's facts.
So I mean, it's no telling. I mean, and God forbid, and pray that everything is like, you know, on the up and up and coming back to where it's supposed to be, but there's no telling what damage is possible.
Right.
When you lay in there for 15 days with, you know, less oxygen than your body needs or is used to getting to function.
That's facts, bro.
And my thing too,
if you think about it, like motherfucking kids that's born with like umbilical cords wrapped around their neck, them motherfuckers usually, you know, have a fucking learning disability. You know, because they didn't have enough oxygen going to the brain.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I think that's, and with this too, and I'm sure you're at that point now. You gotta be gentle with yourself. Yeah. Don't set no deadline about I'm gonna be done by blah. For that trip. Right. I'm gonna be back by this.
Right.
Like no, like you gotta totally just. Like we were just talking about earlier, be in the moment. You are still in the process of getting where you need to be. And the reality is there's no person on this earth that knows how long it's going to take you to get to where you need to be. Right. So don't set no expectations. Like, I mean, and that's like for this and everything else. Like, I mean, but that's kind of how I'm trying to move now, man. Unless it's something that like, okay, I have a deadline. Everything else, like, fam, I'm going to get there when I get there.
That's a good feeling.
To preserve my peace, I'm gonna get there when I get there.
That's a good feeling.
You know, I'm gonna work towards deadlines. Sure. But everything else, like, nah, man, nah, fam. I swear, dude. I love the fact that we can talk about this shit and that we're not talking about and we didn't do like a 12-hour deep dive on something else. I mean, we literally talked about guns, God, and parenthood, and all things in
pepperoni pizza.
And pepperoni pizza.
So that just sounds like the hickest, the most hick hillbilly ass show that we talked about God, guns, and pizza.
Hey, I'm gonna duplicate this same podcast and rename it and put it on a whole different network. We're gonna get tons of listens. And like, wait. He sounds like a Tyrone. I don't think this is the right show.
You sound like one of them people.
Yo,
like them people.
That's funny.
That's one of them. It gotta be them urban white boys.
Man, that's funny, dog.
Man, but fellas, man, this has been a great episode, man.
Word.
Yeah. So yeah, again, thank you for checking us out, and as always, we couldn't care less, but we fucking love y'all.
All that shit. Man, I appreciate the therapy session, dog.
Man,
y'all just saved me about $1,800.
Hey, as somebody who's a big fan of therapy, I can definitely tell you that this is totally therapeutic.
But you know.